Okay, as we have seen in earlier lecture, pharmaceutical dosage form from the topical preparation or in semi-solid dosage form suppositories. So firstly, we discuss what is mean by suppositories. So we revise again, suppositories are the solid dosage form and they are intended for insertion into the body orifice, that is body cavity, where they melt, soften, dissolve and exert their localized or systemic effect. So these suppositories are inserted in the body cavity other than the mouth cavity, so such as they are inserted into rectum, vagina or the nasal cavities. Then where they incorporated, where they at the site of their insertion at that local place, they shows their local effect or the systemic effect. The next point we discuss about their advantages, disadvantages, then their types. In rectal suppositories means they are inserted into rectum, vaginal suppositories inserted into the vagina or the vaginal cavity, urethral suppositories they are inserted into urethra, the nasal suppositories and the ear cones. So these are the different types of the suppositories. And newly marketed suppositories in which newer concept of suppositories such as tablet suppositories are available, layered suppositories, coated suppositories, and capsule suppositories. So let's see the newer concept of suppositories, in which first one, tablet suppositories. So tablet suppositories nowadays, rectal suppositories and pasteurizers are prepared by the compression, just like compressed tablet. Means this part or this point we are already discussed in the tablet manufacturing of tablet, in which dry granulation, direct compression, wet granulation. So some tablets are prepared by direct compression. So like that, these tablet suppositories, they are prepared by the direct compression. The compressed pasteurizers generally almond shaped. Almond, माहिती है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So some compressed pasteurizers are generally almond shaped for ease of insertion. So for the ease of insertion of these tablet suppositories into the body cavities, they are made by the almond shaped and a large surface area for the disintegration and their absorption. And large surface area they provide because of this almond shape make to these suppositories or these pasteurizers, they helps to provide the larger surface area for the disintegration and absorption of these suppositories, and after that they shows their local effect or the systemic effect. The next point, the rectal tablet are generally coated with the polyethylene glycol. This rectal tablet, the tablet suppositories, they are prepared by or they are coated by using an polyethylene glycol polymer for the protection and easy for insertion into the rectum. So this tablet suppository is made for the rectal insertion and they are coated with which polymer?
Polyethylene glycol.
Polyethylene glycol polymer for protection and it's easy for insertion into the rectum. Means after their coating with this polymer, they will be easy for the insertion into the rectum. So these are the newer trend of or newer form of the suppositories. Already suppositories are present in this form or the type of suppositories are these: rectal, vaginal, nasal, ear cones, but nowadays they are available in tablet suppositories form. The next type is layered suppositories. Do you understand tablet suppositories?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, their shape is important one, and because of this shape, they provide the large surface area for the disintegration and absorption. The next point, layered suppositories. These suppositories contain different drugs in different layers to avoid incompatibility between them. Layered, name indicate itself. Layered means these are the suppositories. There may be layers of different types. So these are the suppositories. They contain different layers of drug. Different ड्रगचे layers करून ही suppository prepare केलेली आहे. Why they are in the layered form? Because to avoid the incompatibility in between them. ड्रगच्या मध्ये जी incompatibility असते, one drug is not compatible with the another drug. Sometimes drugs are not compatible with the their storage container. This point we discuss in the packaging material. Some medicaments changes their physical state when they contact with the container. So some drugs, their contact, or they may, when they are in contact, then they become incompatible. They are not compatible with each other. So to avoid this incompatibility of different drugs or different constituent or different ingredient, these suppositories are formed in the layer, in which different layers are formed, and these suppositories are formulated. So this is about layered suppository. The next point, in which the drugs having a different melting point. What is mean by melting point? What is difference in between melting point and boiling point? Anyone? If you have no idea about melting point, then how you will understand this point? What is mean by melting point? What is mean by dissolution? 60 Mane. What is mean by melting point? Anyone?
Melting point.
Transfer into
Melting
liquid.
point with the temperature where a substance changes states from solid to liquid.
Okay, and boiling point?
Liquid substance transfer into the vapor substance.
And boiling point generally water किती आहे?
100 degrees Celsius.
100 degrees Celsius.
100 degrees Celsius. So boiling point of the liquid, it varies by application of pressure. So the temperature at which vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure. This condition at the boiling point. So melting point, we discuss here drugs having a different melting point. Means particular एक drug आहे तो 50 degree Celsius ला melt होते. Another drug is melted at the 60 degree Celsius. म्हणजे ज्या ड्रग्सचे different melting points आहेत. And also dissolution rate. Dissolution rate means it is rate of which state? Dissolution test we discuss in tablet. So what is dissolution? What happened in the dissolution? Anyone? Sound is audible
Rate
to
of
all?
solution. Rate of solution of dosage forms.
Repeat again.
Rate of solution.
Rate of solution. It is not correct one. Anyone from boys side, girls side? Anyone? Firstly, dissolution test we already discussed in quality control test for tablet.
Solid particle mixed
Dissolution rate.
into liquid particle.
Speak loudly. 23.
Yes, ma'am.
What is mean by dissolution rate?
Solid particle dissolve into liquid state.
Okay, so it is correct one. The rate or speed at which drug substance dissolve in any medium, such as water or any other liquid. So that is dissolution rate. Tablet ची टेस्ट आठवतीये का? की फक्त हेडिंग्स केलेत? सगळ्यांना यायला पाहिजे होतं. डिझोल्युशन टेस्ट. टॅबलेट डिझॉल्व होते का डायरेक्ट ऍब्सॉर्प्शन होतं?
Dissolve.
Dissolve होते.
Okay, so what is mean by dissolution? 65. What is mean by dissolution?
Separation into components.
Means actually काय होतं? तुम्हाला काय समजलं डिझोल्युशन मीन्स? The drugs having the different melting point or the dissolution rate can be incorporated to control the rate of release of medicaments. So different drugs having the different melting point as per their particular state, they have the different melting point, different dissolution rate. So they are incorporated to control the rate of release of medicament. When they are incorporated, then their rate of release is also different. So they are combined from into the layered suppositories and they get inserted into the particular body cavities. Then this type of the suppositories can be prepared by partially filling the mouth with one of the type of material. Means layered type of the suppositories, they are prepared or formulated by filling a mold. Mold we discuss in the procedure. So then you get what is mold with the one type of the material. Means during the preparation of these suppositories, material is get placed into the mold, and after the some time when it get cool, we get the suppositories. Then the last point, when it get solidify, and then other material are added after the other separate layer. Means layered suppositories कशा बनवायचे आहेत, ज्यावेळेस फर्स्टली जो ingredient आहे इट इज प्लेस्ड इनटू द माउल्ड, माउल्ड मध्ये तो प्लेस केला, ते सॉलिडिफाय झालं, आफ्टर द कुलिंग इट गेट सॉलिडिफाय. म्हणजे सॉलिडिफाय झाल्यानंतर त्याचे जे अदर मटेरियल आहेत त्याचे लेयर्स ऍड करायचे, सेपरेट लेयर्स. बाय दिस वे लेयर्ड सपोजिटरीज आर प्रिपेअर्ड. अदर सपोजिटरीज त्या कशा करतो आपण, डायरेक्टली टेक एनी either china dish or any other vessel, and in which take the beeswax or the emulsifying base or oleaginous base and add either glycerin or any other agent or any other drug, and it get melted with it get kept into the water bath and melted, and after that it pour into the mold and then cool it. That's why it becomes solidify and then remove it. So same procedure करायचे layered suppository साठी, but there is some separate layers are added after the solidification of this suppositories. So this is about layered suppositories. The next one is capsule suppositories. Capsule suppositories, the soft gelatin capsules of the different shapes and the size are used for the insertion into the rectum or the vagina. Means capsule suppositories are made by the in the form of soft gelatin capsule. How many types of the capsule?
Two types.
Two types of capsules.
Which?
Hard
Gelatin
soft
gelatin.
And also newer types of the capsules you seen into the practical session of capsule. न्यू ऍड झालेल्या सांगितलेलं ना तुम्हाला प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये.
Two.
Okay, so capsule suppositories are the soft gelatin capsule. They are different shapes and the size. Means जसा माउल्डचा शेप असतो त्या शेप मध्ये कॅप्सूल सपोजिटरीज किंवा अदर ज्या सगळ्या सपोजिटरीज आहेत, as per that mold we can prepare the suppositories into the different size and different shape. So capsule suppositories are the soft gelatin capsule suppositories and they get inserted into rectum and the vagina. The liquid and semi-solid or the solids can be filled into the soft gelatin capsule. Soft gelatin capsules, माहिती आहे? There is difference in between hard gelatin and soft gelatin capsule. ते दाखवलेलं तुम्हाला soft gelatin capsule ज्यावेळेस चॅप्टर होता त्यावेळेस. आठवतात का? ग्रीन कलर मध्ये होत्या, व्हॅपो कॅप्स वगैरे असतात ते.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they are liquid, semi-solid or the solid and they are filled into the soft gelatin capsule. Capsule मध्ये means shell जे असतं, cap body like that soft gelatin मध्ये नसतं ते. They are directly filled into the gelatin coat. So this is these capsules are nowadays great demand for the capsule suppositories. म्हणजे capsule suppositories, it is a new marketed preparation and it having the great or more demand nowadays into the market. So this is about capsule suppositories. So this one also asked for MCQ. Soft gelatin capsule are under the cap suppositories or hard gelatin capsule are under the capsule suppositories. Which capsules?
Soft gelatin.
Gelatin caps.
Okay. The next point is coated suppositories. So in which suppositories are coated, dipped in the solution coated materials such as polyethylene glycol, cetyl alcohol until coat of the desired thickness have been obtained. मीन्स सपोजिटरीज ज्यावेळेस प्रिपेअर केल्या जातात आफ्टर दॅट त्या सपोजिटरीज एका सोल्युशन मध्ये डीप करायचे आणि त्या डीप किती वेळ करायचे जोपर्यंत त्या सपोजिटरीला एक थिकनेस म्हणजे एक लेअर कोटिंग केल्यानंतर जसा लेअर फॉर्म होतो टॅबलेटला टॅबलेट कोटिंग आठवतंय
Yes, ma'am.
ओके सो टॅबलेट कोटिंग केल्यानंतर जी मेन टॅबलेट आहे आणि कोट when we break this tablet then we can easily differentiate in between the tablet and their coat color so like that after the formulation or preparation of the suppositories they get deep into a particular solution of the coated material such as polyethylene glycol or cetyl alcohol until कधीपर्यंत ते डीप करायचं याच्या सोल्युशन मध्ये until coats of the desired thickness have been obtained जोपर्यंत एक desired thickness त्या suppository obtain होत नाही तोपर्यंत ते त्या सोल्युशन मध्ये डीप करायचे देन दीज आर ड्रायड मग त्या डीप केल्यानंतर त्या काय करायचे ड्राय करायचे दे आर सब्जेक्टेड टू ड्रायिंग प्रोसेस व्हॉट इज मीन बाय ड्रायिंग
Without moisture.
definition of drying what is mean by drying
Removal of water.
unit 4 unit operations drying what is mean by drying
It is a process involve removal of water or another solvent by evaporation from solid, semi-solid or liquid by application of heat and final liquid-free solid product is obtained known as drying.
Okay, very good. So drying process after the coating of these suppositories, they are subjected to the drying process. Means remove of this moisture or any water or any solvent present in this. Then these suppositories impart the lubricant properties or provide protection action during the storage. So lubricant action. What is mean by lubricant? झाले का प्रॅक्टिकल मध्ये So lubricant are the substances that helps to reduce friction in between the surface and ultimately they reduce the heat generated when the surface is to be moved. The suppository action काय आहे lubricant action आहे lubricant means these are the substances that helps to reduce the friction जसं friction आहे surface मधलं ते friction reduce करण्यासाठी impart करतात means they play the role of lubricant properties and they provide protection action during the storage. ज्यावेळेस हे store केले जातं at that time they produce or provide protection action during the storage. And last one, they also helps to control the release of medicament. Means during the formulation जे medicament त्याच्यामध्ये add केले त्यांचा रिलीज आहे ते कंट्रोल करण्यासाठी हेल्प करतो. Why it helps to control? Because the main ingredient आहे त्याला काय केलं आपण coated suppositories मध्ये कोट केले मीन्स डीप इन टू द पर्टिक्युलर सोल्युशन मग फर्स्टली काय रिलीज होणार आहे कोट डिझॉल्व्ह होणार कोट रिलीज होणार अँड आफ्टर दॅट मेन मेडिकामेंट सो दॅट्स वाय कोटेड सपोजिटरीज आर ऑल्सो हेल्प कोट आहे म्हणजे काय इन बिटवीन जे मटेरियल आहे ते काय असणार आहे सेफ असणार आहे की ते डायरेक्टली रिलीज होईल व्हॉट डू यू थिंक फर्स्टली कोट जो आहे तो ऍब्सॉर्ब होईल का कोटेड जे आतमध्ये फिल केलेलं मटेरियल आहे ते होईल लेयर जो वरचा कोट आहे तो so it helps to control the release of medicament means firstly जे coated material आहे ते release होईल ते dissolve होईल and after that main medicament or ingredient get dissolved so this is about coated suppositories so we discuss about newer trends of suppositories in which tablet suppositories, layered suppositories, and capsule suppositories, and also coated suppositories. So, do you understand newer trends or new marketed preparation of suppositories?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then this point suppository basis we already discussed in previous lecture How to choose a suppositories base, which quality possessed by the suppositories base or emulsifying agent, and which type of the suppositories base are used to prepare the suppositories, such as fatty base, emulsifying base, water soluble base, and also cocoa butter, theobroma oil, emulsified cocoa butter, hydrogenated oils are also used, in which glycerine, then hydrogenated oils, emulsified theobroma oil, they are used as a fatty base. Water soluble base are the glycerogelatin base. Then soap, glycerine suppositories, polyethylene glycol, emulsifying bases are Vitis-pol, then Ysterium, Massa Sterinium, Massupol. So these are the different theobroma oils. Different bases are used during the formation of the suppositories. Okay, can anyone tell me the types of suppositories except newer trends? हे newer concept आहेत त्या सोडून first 5 types बघितलेला सांगता कोण? Anyone? How many types of suppositories?
Vaginal suppositories,
nasal
Roll number 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Types of suppositories.
5 types. Nasal suppositories, ear cones, urethral suppositories, vaginal suppositories.
Okay, so nasal suppositories are also used one term. Which term is used? Nasal suppositories are also known as? Do you remember? Which? Which term is used for nasal?
nasal gauges.
Nasal gauges. Okay, which suppositories is known as pasteurizers?
Vaginal suppositories.
These suppositories are also known as pasteurizers or pasteurizers. They are larger than this. So these vaginal suppositories यांच्यामध्ये आणखीन modification केलेलं आहे and then they are given another name. Which name is given? Which name is given for this vaginal suppositories? Screen is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Vaginal suppositories are also known as pasteurizers or pasteurizers. Okay, so this is newer form of the suppositories in which vaginal tablets, vaginal capsules are prepared. So we have to discuss this next chapter, pasteurizers. Chapter means we can say point. It is from the vaginal suppositories. So before that, we discuss how the suppositories are prepared. Suppositories माहिती आहे? Have you ever seen the suppositories? Yes or no?
Yes.
माहिती आहे की नाही?
हो हो.
Okay. So preparation of suppositories in which rolling preparation is done by following method: rolling method, hot process method, fusion method, and last one is cold compression method. Generally, we prepare or formulate the suppositories by using hot process method in practical. So let's see how prepared the suppositories by hot process method. It gets solidified after the several times. Mold separate out केल्यानंतर suppositories remove करतात. Okay, so these are the suppositories. Size and the different shape, and it is depend on the mold. Moldचा shape जसा आहे त्याच्यावर ते depend आहेत. Sound is audible to all?
Yes,
Yes, madam.
ma'am.
Special storage condition required for the suppository. They are placed in refrigerator. Otherwise, they get melt at the temperature or in presence of heating condition. So you have to write this procedure in stepwise form. So firstly, suppositories mold are cleaned and lubricated properly with the help of suitable lubricant. Means to avoid the friction in between the medicament or the emulsifying base with this mold. If there is contact of this suppository base with the mold, तर ते काय होईल? स्टिक होणार आहे त्या माउडला. माउड म्हणजे समजले काय आहे?
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am.
हे जे माउंट फर्स्टली क्लीन केलेलं आहे suppository mold is cleaned and lubricated properly with the help of suitable lubricant. So cleaning of this mold is done for what purpose? For which purpose? To avoid the sticking of emulsifying base to this mold. Suppository as such भेटाव्यात त्यासाठी mold clean करायचा. Then next step, keep the inverted position on the ice bath and remove lubricant from the mouth cavity. The glycerine is heated with the continuous stirring into the porcelain dish. So white, this is a porcelain dish. ही जी डिश आहे ती कोणती आहे? porcelain dish आहे. And here through the water is kept in this pot and heat is supplied to this. त्यामुळे ते मेल्ट होते. ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिकल लॅब मध्ये करताल त्यावेळेस काय करायचंय? पोर्सिलिन डिश मध्ये जो इमल्सिफाइंग बेस आयदर इट इज कोका बटर और इट इज beeswax, it is given into the porcelain dish and after that it kept into the water bath आणि त्या वॉटर बाथला हीट प्रोव्हाइड करायची up to the temperature keep up to the 50 degree Celsius. Either sodium stearate is also used. मग आफ्टर दॅट ते ज्यावेळेस beeswax इमल्सिफाइंग बेस किंवा ओलिजिनियस सपोजिटरी बेस आहे तो ज्यावेळेस मेल्ट होईल पर्टिक्युलरली कॉन्स्टंटली हीट सप्लाय केल्यानंतर एका पर्टिक्युलर टेम्परेचरला ते हीट मेल्ट होते. ऍट दॅट टाइम काय करायचं? त्याच्यामध्ये जो मेन ड्रग आहे सपोजिटरीज मध्ये तो ड्रग ऍड करायचा. as we seen in this procedure or in this video, after melting, add the active ingredient. Heating is continuously provided up to the melt solid it gets into the liquid. Up to this stage, at particular temperature, this beeswax or emulsifying base get melted and then add the active ingredient in the suppository. And after the addition of particular ingredient in this emulsifying base, you have to continue stir for their proper mixing. And after their proper mixing, they get poured into the suppository mold. So these are the molds in which they get poured. And it is subjected to cool. Cool करण्यासाठी ते subject करायचे means you have to wait for either 2 to 5 or 10 minutes. And when it gets cool or solidify, then you have to remove these molds of the suppository base, molds of the suppository, and collect the suppository. And after the remove the suppositories from this mold by opening of this mold, then this suppositories wrap into an tin foil or any wax paper, and then they packed into the suitable container. And after the during the preparation of suppository, ज्यावेळेस suppositoryचं preparation तुम्ही बनवणार आहेत at that time, consider while preparing the suppository, always wait of the 2 extra suppositories taking to avoid the wastage during the transport. आता ज्यावेळेस pour करणार आहे तुम्ही suppository mold ते preparation mold मध्ये, हे वेस्टच झालेलं आहे. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
आता वेस्ट झालंय की नाही?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That to avoid this wastage किंवा to get a proper quantity of suppositories, काय करायचे, एक्स्ट्रा 2 वेट म्हणजे त्याचं जे वेट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये एक्स्ट्रा 2 suppositoryचे वे ऍड करायचे आहे. दॅट्स वाय वी कव्हर अप दी वेस्टेज ऑफ दी suppository. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस तुम्हाला 10 suppositories प्रिपेअर करायचे तर तुम्ही किती suppositories क्वांटिटी घेणार आहे? 12 ची घेणार. ज्यावेळेस 8 suppositories प्रिपेअर करायचे, then how much amount of drug you taken?
10.
Drug and also base you have to taken for considering we have to make or prepare 10 suppositories. Then we get the 8 suppository. तुम्हाला 8 suppositories करायचे आहेत आणि तुम्ही अमाऊंट जो आहे त्या ड्रगचा आणि बेसचा तो बाय कन्सिडरिंग 8 suppositories असा जर घेतला तर काय होईल? किती suppositories भेटतील? किती प्रिपेअर होतील suppositories? 6 suppositories होतील. So you have to be careful during the quantity or amount taken for the drug and base during the preparation of suppositories. Because of this wastage, you have to consider 2 extra suppositories, and such type of the amount is to be taken for the drug as well as for emulsifying base. And after the preparation of suppositories, they remove from this mold and they either wrap into the wax paper or they wrap into the tin foil. So this is paper, either they wrap into this paper or the tin foil. So this is tin foil. Do you understand procedure or method of preparation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We discuss about preparation methods or method of preparation of suppositories. How the suppositories are prepared or formulated, in which hot process or fusion method. By this way, suppositories how prepared. We seen in this video. So do you understand how suppositories prepared by hot process? Why it is known as fusion method or hot process method? समजलेलं आहे का?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Why it is known as fusion method or hot process method? What do you think? Fusion means it is a process in which their state is to be changed because of heat. Heat apply केल्यानंतर सॉलिडचं कन्वर्जन कशामध्ये होते? It get liquefy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
आणि
ma'am.
हॉट प्रोसेस काय? आपण त्याला कशामध्ये ठेवतोय? बॉइलिंग वॉटर, हॉट वॉटर मध्ये प्लेस करतोय पोर्सिलिन डिश. दॅट्स वाय इट इज हॉट प्रोसेस और फ्युजन मेथड. समजलेली आहे हॉट प्रोसेस फ्युजन मेथड.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next method, rolling method, in which this is oldest and simplest method preparing of a suppository. So it is hand shaped, means shape is given to the suppositories by hand, and this is oldest and simplest method for preparing a suppositories. The manipulation required considered skill, yet avoids complications of heat and mold preparation. Means there is some manipulation is occurs. हँडनी शेप द्यायचा, ऑफकोर्स मॅनिप्युलेशन किंवा चेंजेस अकर होणार, आज सेम तरी होणार नाही. सो दॅट्स वाय ही मेथड नावडेज अवॉइड केली जाते बिकॉज ऑफ देअर सर्टेन कॉम्प्लिकेशन्स इन ऑब्झर्व अबाउट देअर मोल्ड और इन द heat or also about the considerable scale in their shape. So that's why this method nowadays rarely used, and nowadays suppositories are prepared by fusion method or hot process method. Then suppository base with the medicament is rolled with the hand and separate shape is given. So of course there will be difference in between their shape or complication. जो शेप मी माझ्या बाय हँड देणार आहे तो तुमचा डिफरंट येणार आहे किंवा तुमच्यामध्ये डिफरंट येणार आहे. देअर इज चेंज. हे सगळ्यांचे सेम येतील.
No.
Change.
So there is complication related to or manipulation related to their considerable skill for the hand-shaped suppository. So that's why nowadays they are rarely used. And in these suppositories, medicament firstly काय केले जातात? Roll केले जातात by the hand. And after that given a desired shape, and by this way these rolled suppositories methods are prepared by using hand-shaped method. Then melt molding method or fusion method. As you've seen in video, this is mold in which pour the emulsifying base and the medicament after the melting or after when they get liquefied, and then wait for several time, and after that remove this from the mold. So these are the suppositories. माउलचा जसा शेप असेल त्या शेप मध्ये suppositories available असतात. So these are the different shapes. हे different shapes आहेत because of याचे moulds त्या shape मध्ये होते. That's why they are prepared or look like in this shape. The suppository base is to be melted. आता ही repeat करायची गरज आहे का? समजली आहे ना procedure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The next point is storage. The suppositories should be protected from the heat. आता त्या suppositories आहेत त्या heat ला subject केलं आहे तर काय होईल?
Melt होतील.
जे त्या पुअर मोल्ड मध्ये पुअर करायच्या अगोदर ज्या स्टेट मध्ये होत्या त्या स्टेट मध्ये रिव्हर्स जातील, राईट?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why so suppository should be protected from the heat and preferably stored into the refrigerator. ते फ्रीज मध्ये स्टोअर करायचे आहेत. And that's why तो आपण डिसएडव्हान्टेजेस मध्ये बघितलेला आहे. ज्या पेशंटला suppositories प्रिस्क्राइब केलेत, if this patient do not have refrigerator, that's why it is costly. आहे का डिसएडव्हान्टेज?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So because of their storage condition, it is costly in their disadvantage. So it is protected from the heat or at the particular temperature, because when it releases or exposed to heat or the temperature, then it will be liquefied. So that's why it is stored into the refrigerator. Glycerinated gelatin suppository should be protected from the heat, moisture, dry air by packing in well-sealed container and storing in the cool place. Means the suppositories in which glycerinated gelatin base is to be used. Then such suppository should be protected from the heat, moisture presence, dry air, and their packing is to be well closed or well sealed. म्हणजे त्याचं जे सीलिंग आहे ते प्रॉपरली करायचं आहे to avoid a contact in from the moisture, heat, or dry air, and they are stored into the cool place. So this is about storage of suppositories. Then next point, quality control test of suppositories. First one, appearance. Second one, weight uniformity. In first one, appearance, as you know from the previous test of the either it is of solution or suspension or emulsion. I think about syrup also we discussed for their physical appearance, odor, color, visual inspection मध्ये जे येतात physical characteristic. So in which odor, color, surface condition and the shape. This test we have to perform for the quality control test of the suppositories. So they are under the appearance. The next point, weight. Weigh the 20 suppositories individually. जे total suppository आपण त्या mold मधून remove करतोय त्या individually weight करायचे. If this mold contain, हे किती mold आहेत, किती आहे त्याच्यामध्ये total suppositories prepare होतील?
10.
10.
ओके, सो या 10 suppositories सिंगली वन बाय वन काय करायचे, वे करायचे जर त्याच्यामध्ये वेट व्हेरिएशन आहे की नाही हे चेक करण्यासाठी. आणि आफ्टर दॅट कॅल्क्युलेट करायचे. तर 10 होतात टोटल वेट ऑफ सपोजिटरीज. काय करायचं, वे ऑल दी सपोजिटरीज टुगेदर. म्हणजे W1, W2, W3 अप टू द 10 आहेत. म्हणजे किती झाले, वेट साठी ते W यूज केलं, W10 हे प्लस केलं डिवायडेड बाय टोटल किती होत्या सपोजिटरीज, 10 होता. सो टोटल वेट डिवायडेड बाय किती करणार आहे आपण,
10.
10. So by this way we can calculate the accurate weight of suppositories. If there is variation is observed, then again prepare the suppositories, and if there is no variation, they all are in the equal weight, then we can use or we can prescribe this to any patient or prescribe for the individual. So this is about first two quality control tests of suppositories. First one appearance and second one weight uniformity. Tablet से same केलेला आपण. Do you remember? Weight variation होतं का tablet मध्ये?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Not more than 2 suppositories differ from the average weight by more than 5%, and no suppositories differ from the average weight by the more than 10%. म्हणजे suppositories आहेत, not more than 2 suppositories differ from the average weight, म्हणजे त्यांच्या average weight मध्ये दोन suppositories, more than 2 suppositories, more than 2 means 2 पेक्षा जास्त suppositories मध्ये difference यायला नाही पाहिजे, and it should be more than 5%, and weight should be differ from the average weight by more than 10%. म्हणजे suppositories आहेत त्यांच्यामध्ये जे weight variation आहे ते 2 suppositories पेक्षा जास्त weight variation नसावं. 2 suppositories आहेत त्यांच्यामध्ये weight variation more than 5% आहे, then it's okay for the weight uniformity, and if it is more than 10%, then also the suppositories are used, but more than 10 असेल then such suppositories are not useful. The next point, melting range test. Suppositories can be completely immersed in the constant temperature in the water bath and time entire suppository to melt, disperse surrounding water measured necessary. म्हणजे melting range test का करायचे, either they are placed into the rectum or they are placed into the vaginal cavity, ear cones. तर त्या पर्टिक्युलर ठिकाणी आफ्टर देअर इन्सर्शन ते काय व्हायला पाहिजे, तिथं they get dissolved, they get release their ingredient or medicament. मग ते रिलीज झाल्यानंतरच ते काय होतील, त्याचा जो काही लोकल इफेक्ट आहे किंवा सिस्टमिक ऍक्शन आहे ती दाखवतील. दॅट्स वाय. आणि जर ते मेल्टच नाही झाले, ऍज सच राहिले सॉलिड फॉर्म मध्ये, तर ऍक्शन भेटेल का, देन वी गेट थेरापेटिक इफेक्ट और नॉट. So that's why ज्यावेळेस suppositories prepare केलेले आहेत त्याचं मेल्टिंग टेस्ट करायचे, either they dissolve into the or they get released into the water or they get released or dissolved at the body temperature in body cavity. त्या बॉडी कॅव्हिटी मध्ये काय व्हायला पाहिजेत, मेल्ट व्हायला पाहिजेत. बॉडी टेम्परेचरला मेल्ट व्हाव्यात असे त्याचं टेम्परेचर असायला पाहिजे. जर टेम्परेचर रेंज जास्त असेल तर चालेल का,
नाही.
बॉडी टेम्परेचर पेक्षा जास्त असेल तर ते डिझॉल्व्ह होणार नाही. अँड इफ दे डू नॉट डिझॉल्व्ह इन टू द बॉडी कॅव्हिटीज, इट मीन्स दॅट they do not give any therapeutic effect. So that's why this melting range test is to be also performed. And in some cases, suppositories or pasteurizers, vaginal suppositories, before their insertion, they just moisten with the water, and after they get inserted, then they helps to melt. The next point, disintegration test. As you know from the tablet, disintegration test is also performed to disintegrate this particular dosage form, and after their disintegration, they get dissolved. जर disintegration नाही झालं तर ते dissolve होणार नाहीत किंवा dissolution जे आहे ते होणार नाही. That's why there may be necessary to perform the disintegration test for suppositories, and during that consider the A, it is completely dissolved, B, dispersed into the component part, C, that is become soft, change in the shape and formation of core, not resistance to pressure with the glass rod. Means disintegration म्हणजे other pressure require करायची गरज नसावी. After their insertion, they make in such a way that they get disintegrate after the certain time interval. 65, unmute yourself. 65, roll number, unmute yourself. So that's why disintegration test is to be performed. Then next one, dissolution test. As we discussed in dissolution rate, dissolution test का करायची आहे? To get dissolve किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये जो मेडिकामेंट आहे तो त्या बॉडी कॅव्हिटी मध्ये रिलीज व्हावा, त्यासाठी त्याची डिझोल्युशन, डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ ऑपरेटर using for the dissolution test of suppositories such as wire mesh basket, dialysis tubing. This one asked for MCQ. Which apparatus are used for dissolution test of tablet for suppositories? So there is differentiate in between their apparatus. Dissolution test मध्ये dissolution test apparatus होतं. Dissolution test for tablet साठी and suppository साठी wire mesh basket or dialysis tubing is used. Why dissolution test is to be performed? So to check out the speed or the rate of dissolution at time of this dissolution of these suppositories into the body cavity. And this test is performed for in vitro release from the suppositories, means release of medicament from these suppositories. Their time is to be considered or check out by performing the dissolution test for the suppositories. So these are the quality control test for suppositories. Here we discuss their appearance, weight uniformity, melting range, and disintegration and dissolution test. Here we complete suppositories. In this chapter we discuss their definition, advantages, disadvantages, their types, where they get inserted from this point, types, and new trend of marketed preparation of suppositories, coated, layered, tablet, capsule. And next point about this is method of preparation, in which rolling method, melt molding or fusion method, also known as hot process method, and last one is cold compression method, in which hot process method or fusion method it is important one. And after that we discuss their storage, and last one point is quality control test for suppositories. The next point, from the vaginal suppositories, from their types of suppositories, vaginal suppositories, they are also known as pasteurizers. This point we will discuss in our next lecture. About suppositories, do you have any doubt?